Welcome to Dynamic Sport Adventures, offering outdoor adventures and classes in hiking, backpacking, wilderness camping, snowshoeing, map and compass, leave no trace, wild edibles, animal tracking, and much, much more. Let Dynamic Sport Adventures help you get outdoors.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Dynamic Sport Adventures. Today we're going to give you an outdoor tip in regards to our winter camping and our requirements for a liner boot for winter camping. Winter camping, we're talking about overnight in sub-zero temperatures. It could be one night, multiple nights, week long, depending on what the trip is. A lot of mountaineering schools have a gear checklist as well as we do, and in that gear checklist you'll see that it's a requirement to have a boot with a removable liner. Some of our hiking boots that are even the higher end ones that don't have a liner are a good boot for hiking, day hikes and stuff like that, but any moisture that can soak into that boot, a lot of boots claim to be 100% waterproof, but they are not. Sweat and everything, and that boot becomes a problem because now the sweat and the moisture inside that boot at sub-zero temperatures can cause issues of freezing or making your foot cold. So we recommend a boot with a liner. Some of our pack boots we have, snowmobile boots people call them, with the felt liners are applicable, but the problem with some of the mountaineering we do and up in the high peaks where we need traction control devices and snowshoes, which are mandatory when a certain amount of snow is on the ground, these boots don't work as well with them. So make sure if you're going to use something like this that it fits crampons, any traction control devices, and it works well with your snowshoes, and try it out beforehand at home, not once you get up on the mountain. Again, our gear checklist will check that out. I don't recommend these because they're heavy. They don't, like I said, they don't fit the crampons and traction control devices very well, and they're a little bulky to put in your snowshoe. So I recommend a winter mountaineering boot, and I happen to have a winter plastic Koflak Degra boot with an Intuition liner. It's a thermal moldable liner, and that's a good boot to have because you can take the liner out. Now what we want to do to make sure that we don't have moisture transfer to that liner is we're going to make sure we're going to have a liner sock. All of our clothes, we're going to have no cotton in them. They're all synthetic, polyester synthetics or other silks and whatnot. So we're going to have a liner sock. We're going to put that liner sock over top of our foot. We're going to get some bags. Some people use actually bread bags. I actually purchased a box full of commercial grade food bags through eBay for a very cheap price. I'll have bags for a long time. I take two of them, I put them both together, and I place them over top my liner sock that I put on my foot. Once I've done that, we're going to use our neck sock, which is any kind of synthetic blend, or I recommend wool sock. That wool sock now goes on top over that. That system now goes inside your liner, and your liner inside your boot. And that's going to prevent any transfer, any moisture, sweating or whatnot from your foot to that liner. So now you won't have the issue. We have a waterproof boot. We hopefully have stopped any penetration of water coming inside or moisture coming inside, and now we're trying to stop it from coming from our sweaty feet. A lot of our hikes into the backcountry are going to take a couple hours or more, and that's going to create sweat no matter what, how you regulate it. And then we don't want that liner getting wet, so that's the system we want you to use. Once you've done that, you can take that out at night. You're going to make sure you have extra wool socks. You're going to make sure you have extra liner socks so you can put them on the next day. Also at night when we take that off, we can take our liner out of our boot, and we're going to put our liners inside our sleeping bag to keep them warm so they're not cold to put on the next day. That's the system we want you to use. Liner sock, vapor barrier liner, which could be a couple baggies, wool sock inside your liner, inside your boot. Also, if you could afford it, we have some booties that I like to use. They're 800 fill down booties. They do pack down a little bit, so they do if you have room in your pack. And what you do at night, you have these for your campsite for walking around at the campsite at night, or if you have to get up during the night, you can slip these on very well. They keep your feet warm walking around the campsite. That's just going to, again, lessen any moisture that's going to transfer to your mountaineering boot. But you also want to keep that liner in a dry place, and I also like to have it inside my sleeping bag at night to keep it nice and warm and dry. So that's a little bit of tips on what we want you to use for our winter camping in our boots. Liner sock, some kind of vapor barrier liner, wool sock inside a boot that has a liner on it, and that should stop any issues of any frostbite or any moisture transferring over to our liner or our boot. Thanks for watching Dynamic Sport Adventures. Happy hiking. Get outdoors.